All right, again, congratulations. Before we present the senior awards, I would like to introduce our second senior speaker. Greg Woodburn was a distance runner on our track team. He was a trustee scout, a track and field representative for Trojan Athletic Center. He is the founder and president of Give Running, which is a nonprofit organization that promotes a love for running and its many benefits and the opportunities that come with running by collecting, cleaning, and then donating new and used running shoes to those in need both locally and around the world. He is just one of 3 USC triple scholars in 2012. Named to the 2011 Pac-10 All-America First Team, and he maintains a 3.966 GPA. Please welcome Greg Woodburn.
Thank you for that very generous introduction, Mr. Hayden. And thank you to all the athletic department staff who are here and help make this possible. I also want to express deep thanks to all the family and friends of graduating student athletes for being on hand for this special occasion in our lives. Even more importantly, thank you for being with us throughout the entire journey leading up to this occasion. I would like to share a story with you I heard quite a few times while growing up. It happened in a small farm town in Ohio, where a young girl had wandered away from home. She became lost in the family's wheat field and had grown taller than she was. Her family called out her name and searched frantically, but could not find her. Soon neighbors joined the search, but as night began to fall, the little girl still had not been found. Pretty soon, half the town had come to help and was running through the wheat field, trying to find the little girl, but still with no success. The wheat field was simply too big. Finally, the little girl's father called all the volunteers in from the wheat field. No, he was not giving up on finding his dear daughter. Rather, he had an idea. He brought all the townspeople together and had them join hands to form a long human chain. More accurately, they formed a human cone. Then they walked together, side by side, and combed through the tall, amber waves of grain. This way, they did not miss a single area, as they had been doing when they searched separately as individuals. Within 10 minutes, the new search party of nearly 100 individuals, now united as one, found the little girl on the ground, shivering and trying to stay warm, but still alive. In a larger sense, the wheat field is the world. We are all lost at times and need others to help us overcome the wheat field challenges in our own lives. My dear friend and javelin thrower turned defensive lineman Peter Yobo grew up in Ghana in West Africa, attending a high school that had a single computer with internet access. Every day during lunch, when all his friends were outside playing in the sun, Peter would go online to learn about the world. After stumbling upon the Trojan football team, Peter went to the USC website homepage, where the image of a large cardinal and gold flower bed with hedges spelling out the letters USC made it Peter's dream to attend the University of Southern California. Being an international student made admission into the American university system difficult, but Peter came to the US to study at San Jose State. Although Peter had resigned himself to the fact that he would not become a Trojan, friends and family eventually persuaded him to apply at the last minute to his dream school as a transfer student. Dreams do come true. Peter was accepted to USC, and as his admitted student orientation campus tour ended, Peter found himself standing at the large cardinal and gold flower bed with hedges spelling out USC that he had first seen on a lone computer screen half the world away. USC Athletics helped Peter discover this new home of opportunity. It has made him feel at home here each day, and it has provided him with a greater means of giving back. Who knows? Perhaps there is a kid at a computer in Ghana right now dreaming of attending USC because of number 79. Whether we are scholarship athletes or walk-ons, whether we are from Southern California or West Africa, I think all of us student athletes have experienced a similar sense of belonging by joining hands in the wheat field of the USC Athletic Department. Not only do we join hands to form a global family, but USC Athletics also joins hands to make a global impact. Star quarterback and star humanitarian Matt Barkley and Trojan punter Kyle McGrady traveled to Nigeria as part of a holiday volunteer service trip last year, building much-needed new facilities, donating 12,000 pounds of medical supplies, sports equipment, and other gifts, and fostering new connections. From what Matt tells me, many of these relationships are forged through friendly games of soccer and American football lessons. I know how Matt and Kyle felt, as I personally experienced the same joy in extending the reach of the Trojan family during humanitarian trips to Mali and Ghana as part of my nonprofit organization, Give Running. I was able to donate shoes to disadvantaged youth and use the sport of running to connect with others, heart to heart and foot to foot. This year marks the 100th anniversary of when the USC Fighting Methodists received their nickname of the Trojans from a track meet where USC student athletes fought on in the face of long odds like the Trojan warriors of ancient lore. This spirit is as alive in 2012 as it was in 1912. Indeed, turning the adversity of bowl sanctions into an opportunity to help those who are less fortunate exemplifies what it truly means to fight on. We join hands to give on, and that is the greater victory. So what happens when the football team doesn't have bowl sanctions this coming season? We Trojans continue to pay forward new opportunities, only we join hands internationally during the summer so we can hopefully win a national championship this winter. Matt, Kyle, and 13 other USC football players are traveling to Haiti this Monday to build houses and deliver more than 2,000 pounds of desperately needed supplies to orphanages and schools. This is but one example of the commitment we USC student athletes make to using our privileged position to make a difference in the lives of others. Give on. We join hands across continents. We join hands in triumph and despair. And always, we join hands to fight on for each other. We have joined hands with our teammates to prove we not only have the talent to reach the top, but the character to stay there. We have joined hands with our athletic trainers to overcome injuries with resilience, return to the sports we love, and to proactively prevent other setbacks. We have joined hands with the academic counselors who have guided us through the trials and tribulations of our schoolwork to stand before you today as successful graduates. And I must add that because most of us would prefer 5 hours of practice to writing a 5-page essay, our academic counselors probably have the toughest task of all. Speaking of tough tasks and class, it is hard to imagine a more inspiring example of the high character every Trojan should strive for than the leadership of our athletic director, Pat Hayden. In addition to athletic director, Mr. Hayden's title should include the #1 cheerleader of Trojan athletics, generous mentor, and true role model. Day in and day out, our coaches inspire us to greater levels of excellence with an encouraging pat on the back, and sometimes with a harder pat a little lower down the backside. Like my distance coach, Lazo Tabori, told me on the first day of practice, if you do what I say, we will be friends. If not, I have a big wig. I don't doubt him. Coach Laszlo was the third person ever to break 4 minutes in the mile with a time of 3:59 back in 1955. Today, his license plate proudly reads 359 and 55. Coach Laszlo is by all measures the definition of old school. While his thick Hungarian accent and translations of phrases are often difficult to understand, Coach Laszlo is a master communicator with body language, such as soft punches to the gut to check abdominal strength, arm twisting to get your attention, and hair pulling to really get your attention. I thought my buzz cut could save me from this latter form of nonverbal communication until I learned the hard way that ear tugging is a highly effective substitute. In all seriousness though, Coach Laszlo brings the same tenacity and dedication to coaching as he once did to his own training. He is a loyal member of the Trojan family, sharing his wisdom with us even as he approaches 80. This wisdom most often comes in the form of interval workouts that make me soar like no other, but that I will sorely miss. I can't say the same about the ear tugging, however. Actually, I will miss that too. There is much that we will miss, but there is even more for us to celebrate. The legacies we have created, the experiences we have had, the lessons we hold inside. We leave USC, but we take USC with us by joining hands to continue the journeys of our lives. In closing, I would like to share one more story. It was a beautiful Southern California morning following a stormy night, and a beachcomber was walking along the sand, now littered with kelp and driftwood. Off in the distance, he noticed a man who bent down to pick something up and then tossed it into the ocean. Every few steps, the man repeated this calisthenic: bend, stand, toss. But what was he throwing? The beachcomber wondered. Driftwood sticks? Skipping stones? As the two morning walkers neared each other, the beachcomber finally realized that the man was picking up starfish that, by the hundreds, had been washed ashore by the storm's high surf and left stranded on the sand. The beachcomber couldn't help but laugh at the other man's futile efforts. "You're just wasting your time," he called out. "There are far too many starfish for you to make a difference before they die." "Maybe," the other man said as he gently picked up another starfish. "But to this one, I am making a world of difference." And with that, he safely tossed the starfish back into the waves. Growing up, that is where the story always left off, and I don't know what happened next, but I'll tell you what I like to think. I think the beachcomber joined the man in his routine: bend, stand, toss. And as the beautiful morning unfolded and more people came to the beach, slowly but steadily, the impromptu group of starfish rescuers swelled like the townspeople in that Ohio wheat field. And then I think they all joined hands and together combed the driftwood and kelp-covered beach until, one bend, stand, and toss at a time, they had saved all the starfish on that sunny strand. Truth is often stranger than fiction, and often more beautiful as well. More joyful than the idea of what I like to think happened in that story is the fact that, in my life, I have joined hands with so many beachcombers and townspeople in the Trojan family. All of us are rescuers at times, but at times all of us become lost in wheat fields and stranded on beaches as well. In joining hands, we find greater meaning in our lives. I am blessed beyond measure to have joined hands and joined hearts with so many wonderful people in the Trojan family, and particularly within the athletic department. On behalf of my fellow Scholar Athlete graduates, thank you for giving us the gift of competing for the Cardinal and Gold and contributing to USC's unparalleled heritage of excellence and tradition. More importantly, however, thank you for providing us with the opportunity to earn a world-class education of breadth with depth at the University of Southern California. To all of us starfish in caps and gowns today, you have made a world of difference. Thank you, and fight on.
Thank you very much, Greg, and thanks for an incredible career here at USC.